Hello and welcome here. In this video I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to not mess up your operating system on your computer every single week, because it's kind of a pain to reinstall Windows or Mac OS or whatever you have on your machine every 2 weeks because you downloaded some files or you did some not very careful work on your computer, you messed with the terminal or whatever. So in case you are one of the higher risk computer users who tend to use the sudo command in the terminal line, for all the Windows users out there, that's like using CMD as an administrator and not paying attention to what you do. This is a little workaround for that. How you can like test environments and test things without actually messing up your system. So I'm going to show you how to install a virtual machine. So the first thing is you're going to head over to virtualbox.org, and this is kind of like the machine that you use. So you go to downloads, and that's like you went to the computer store and you actually bought a computer. So for right now I'm on an OS X system, so we need the OS X host, and we would save the file now. However, I already have it downloaded and it's 100 megabytes, so it could take some while. So you download this, or then of course for Windows hosts this one and Linux, and if anybody happens to have Solaris, then you download this one. And what you also need is your operating system. So I could show you this with Windows, or I could show you this with Mac OS. I'm not sure if that works with Mac OS. However, I'm gonna go for a Linux system, and I'm gonna go with Ubuntu, which is kind of like Ubuntu. However, it is much more lightweight. So you go to ubuntu.net, you go to the download section, and then you get the long-term support or whatever system you want to have. So you download this one, 32 or 64, it does not really matter. Just for if you have like 64-bit programs, you might want to get this one. And then you download that as well. Of course, I already downloaded that one as well because it's also at least 1 gigabyte, and I don't want to bore you with this. So then you install VirtualBox, which is like setting up your computer, like plugging in the cord. You install this. In this case, it works with a package install thing on Mac OS. You should know how to install things on Windows. It's pretty straightforward. Once you have it installed, you can open it, and this is your control panel. You see I already have 5 systems here, but they are not running currently, and we're gonna start making a new computer. And we're gonna call it Ubuntu test machine, and this is a Linux system, and it's, since there is no Ubuntu here, we go with Ubuntu. And I think I have the 64-bit version. However, if you have 32 and you run it on the 64-bit, it does not really affect that. You go to continue, and you need a memory size. Since you already selected operating system, it kind of estimates what you might want to have as default settings. For example, when I set up the Windows machine, it's already suggested that I take 2 gigabytes of memory. Then you have a hard drive. Here, for example, the Windows machine took 32 gigabytes, so you see it's a lot more lightweight. This is the hard drive installation, so you not actually have a hard drive, you just create a file on your computer, which is a hard drive image, which is then later used by the machine. Then you can just leave this on default. There are different things that you could do, but I'll just go with the default one. Then I would take dynamically allocated, which means that as you use your system and as you have more files saved in your computer, in your hard drive, the file is going to grow, and there is not like an 8 GB file on your hard drive, on your actual physical hard drive, that is not even filled. So dynamically allocated is good. So I'll go with 8 GB just for purposes of showing this right now. And then we go to create. And that's probably the cheapest computer you ever bought, and probably also the fastest to set up. I don't think you could in this time plug in all the cables on a normal machine. So, and in the next video, because YouTube has a stupid 15-minute rule, I'm gonna show you how to actually install Ubuntu on this machine.